In our past around electricity and the hopes of people for their future. After receiving a memorandum of grievances from the residents of Soweto and Braamfontein, the mayor of Dr Mpho Phalatse pleading for patience from residents in coming up with solutions. Soweto residents marching to the mayor's office regarding their problems on a lack of electricity supply, community safety and informal settlements. Phalatse says they'll prioritise pensioners in receiving basic services. The mayor also promising to engage with Eskom to deal with the issues raised today by the community. Our reporter Linda Mnisi following the story. He joins us now. Linda, good afternoon to you. How would you describe the events there so far today?
Well, Stephen, that march that we saw take place today has finally concluded. If I look around, there's still quite a number of people that still need to leave, but as it stands, it has come to a conclusion. That memorandum of demand handed over to the mayor in the city of Johannesburg, listing a number of their demands, things like changing the contractor which looks after Eskom's infrastructure, because you'll remember that the new thing in Soweto right now is the issue around the cable theft, which seems to really be a thorny issue and one that residents want addressed by the authorities here in Gauteng. Another issue, electricity supply. The basic electricity supply has been inconsistent. Some people are counting months, others are counting years, saying that they haven't had electricity, which is why they're now coming back to this particular office to ask for intervention. I mean, you'll remember last year we had a very similar situation with the residents of Deep Kloof in Soweto right in December, not having electricity, and they pleaded with the mayor to intervene. We saw the mayor there interacting with Eskom, and one wonders if this time around the issues will be attended in a similar fashion. Also because, they also have this thing of asking residents to pay 6,000 Rand as a reconnection fee. I spoke earlier to the spokesperson of Eskom, Amanda Krithi, who tells us, Stephen, that it's not... it's something that has been placed by the regulator, in fact, NERSA. That's 6,000 Rands, but residents can pay 500 Rands. You would have seen Newzroom Afrika door-stopping the mayor in the city of Johannesburg, Mpho Phalatse, asking her about the pact that they have to assist residents who cannot pay for their own rates and for their own electricity, saying that they've provided subsidies and those, it seems, are not assisting. And what would be required as an intervention would to look into exactly why they're not receiving those benefits from the municipality in order, to have a proper strategy in terms of how to tackle this.
Linda Mnisi, thank you very much indeed. Well, here, of course, covering that part of the march. At the other end of the protest, our reporter Tshegohaco, Moagi. She's been following that march from Soweto to Johannesburg today. Tshegohaco, good afternoon to you. What have the residents you've been talking to, what have people there been saying to you today?
Good afternoon to you, Stephen. So, the Soweto residents really voicing their unhappiness, voicing their concerns at not having electricity for years on end. I had a conversation just as the buses were driving out with a lady who lives in Pimville. She's been in Pimville for years now, but she has not had electricity since, she says, 2018 or so. She has not had any electricity, and despite the conversations that she's had with various people, about the situation, despite the conversations and the emails that she has sent to various people, including the very same person that was here with Dr Mpho Phalatse from Eskom, she says that despite that, there has been no goodwill from the people of the city of Johannesburg, or even a response to just give an update as to what the situation will be. We do know that the residents have also spoken extensively about having to actually guard their substations as well. And, that situation is one that the residents say that they do not mind doing if that is what they need to do to guard the substations. But they are saying that there's no point in guarding the substations if then there is no electricity that is supplied to them. Some of these transformers, of course, Stephen, they then burst or they catch fire. And so then Eskom does not necessarily come immediately to actually replace those transformers. And that has also been the situation with many of these communities where transformers have really been non-functional for quite some time, and these residents are then left in the dark. And you can just imagine, some of them have told us and told the mayor today that they have got elderly people living with them, people who need medication to be kept in the fridge. I spoke to a lady who said that, she's got a child on oxygen, and now because of that situation of what's happening in Soweto, they are struggling every single day to try and get the medication in the fridge or try to get some oxygen. Some of them saying that, they may even have to consider moving out of Soweto because of the situation that they are now faced with there. But of course, as we heard from Linda Mnisi and Dr Mpho Phalatse saying that, she's just requesting 14 days to be able to go through the memoranda that had been given to her. There were quite a thick bunch of papers that were handed over to her of the grievances from the residents of Soweto. She's requested 14 days to be able to go through that, and from there she will then return back to the leaders of those that organized this march and give them a response as to what the way forward could possibly be.
Tshegohaco, Moagi, thank you very much indeed. Well, that's our reporting team live for you this afternoon at that protest today. We're watching developments, more conversations around it in the next